What are some of like top 5 bands? Both of you guys.
Oh, jeez. Why don't you go first? I have to think.
Top 5. Ooh. Wow. I would say first it'd be growing up as like, when I went from Echo to like Pantera, like I was wearing Echo, and then the next day I was like, fuck this shit. I'm gonna go hang out with like the metalheads in science class, and they put me on right away to 6 Feet Under, Cannibal Corpse, Slayer.
Yeah.
God, that's right up your alley, Jeff.
Yeah, and like my first band, I swear to God, like I didn't know what I was doing. I was just like, all right, I play the drums. Like, no, not really. So we go to Pearl Studios, right? The big room. You know which one I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know the big room.
And they walk in with the cymbal pack. Okay, cool. And then like a double pedal. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I thought there's only one. Like there's 2? Okay.
He's the fastest man in the world with his feet.
Yeah.
So then, I had one of the metalheads like, yeah, we just want you to play this one beat. I'm like, okay, how hard can it be? And it was a fucking blast beat.
Oh,
so I'm like, this is drumming? Like there's no groove? It's like right away, like, da, 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 da. I'm like, all right, cool. So I'll spaz out for fucking
what'd you
like
say,
5 minutes.
What band was that?
So this was my first black metal band. It was called Seraphim Slaughter.
Oh shit, I remember Pat was telling me about
dude.
that. All
And
right.
I was the first drummer before that whole thing. We played fucking.
That was a band.
like,
You were in there with Jay. Right?
So
I'm interviewing you also.
and then eventually, I went the emo scene route. So I like Under Oath.
Hell yeah.
Census Fail. Paramore. Shout out to Haley. What's up? And
What you doing?
how you doing? And then the classics, growing up to like Queen and the Bee Gees, the Eagles. Like I grew up like a 60s, 70s like disco like baby, like all the classics.
That was
Back to you, Craig. What do you?
That's me. I mean, the first concert I ever went to was my uncle took me to it was Lincoln Park headlining right off of Hybrid Theory. I think Hoobastank, and unfortunately that was just when they dropped The Reason, which I don't care that song. I hate that song. Everything else was badass. Like Crawling in the Dark was like a banger, and POD I think was on that
Nice.
tour too.
Shout out to Sonny.
And the cool one was Story of the Year on their first U.S. tour.
Wow.
So that was that. So I always say Linkin Park is like, even when Chester died, like that was I didn't realize how much that band had influenced me growing up, and how much that affected me.
I love that album, Hybrid Theory.
Hybrid Theory is
That
still,
first tour.
My whole
I saw him on
skatering
that first tour.
life.
Man.
oh
That
my
shit was fucking
God,
dope.
they're unbelievable.
Yeah.
In the Roseland.
My first like heavy band was Metallica, and it was actually the Saint Anger. It was like that same year that Saint Anger dropped.
Fucking snare.
That snare drum. Dude, did you guys hear?
God.
Did you hear the remix without the snare drum?
Really?
No.
They did it?
Some guy did it. Some engineer. He goes, "Saint Anger's not a bad album." And everyone's like, "Fuck you, it is. It's terrible." And he's like, "Watch." And he literally all he did was just change out the snare in every song. Change out the snare. It is really good.
It sounds
I
better.
highly recommend it if you guys want to look. Just find it. You can look it up.
All right.
It's like Saint Anger without that shitty fucking snare or something like that is like the name of it, and it's unbelievably good.
The Lars mix.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Dude, it's like, hey, make it sound like a trash can with a dead cat in it.
Yeah.
Getting hit with a baseball bat, please. And it goes like, Slipknot was always in that category with me there. And then I shifted to like the best era, that Warped Tour era, when like they would bring on like the deathcore bands and started bringing like Bring Me the Horizon.
Okay.
We was doing stuff that just, I mean, they're one of the biggest bands on the planet. If you would have told me that the kids that were like pimple face playing Pray for Plagues were me playing like Barclays Sold Out, I would have been like, you guys are crazy. But they've been putting out some amazing stuff. Periphery is another one that like influenced me heavily. Animals. I used to follow guitar players.
Right.
That's like kind of how I did it. Like Tosin Abasi, I was like, when I saw him play, I was like, holy shit, what is this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The first time I watched that guy play, I was like, what is he doing? And I needed to learn how he did that. So I spent like a year doing that. Pantera was another major influence for me.
Classic. Yep.
Learning Dime style.
Yeah.
Like figuring out how did he like Cowboys from Hell, that first solo. Like the first time I heard Cowboys from Hell, I recall where I was. I was driving in my car and I was like, what is this? I need to know this. Is that 4? That was the top 5. Shit. Because you forget it.
Aren't they coming back?